What's up, guys? Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, May the 31st. Been on the water quite a bit, even with the craziness of the Memorial Day weekend. I would say summer is in full swing, especially on the lower end of the lake. A lot of boat traffic today. Down here on the lower end. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're at 922.54 as of this morning. Puts us about 5.5 feet above normal summer pool. Core's really not running a whole lot of water out of the lake, so the lake's actually coming up, which has helped some of the bites, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Water temperature, you know, it cooled off quite a bit with these cooler nights that we've had. It is starting to warm back up. I saw a lot of 71, 72. Today I was up Long Creek over the weekend where the water was dirtier, and we saw 73 to 74. So a lot more normal than we were 2 weeks ago when we had all that heat come in and the water temperature just skyrocketed. So a lot more close to normal. A lot of bites going on, a lot of different ways you can catch them right now. Best way to stay on top of that, best way to know what's going on, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, become a pro member. Get those daily reports, weekly reports, all the videos that we've got going. You know, we got the Watson spoonjacking video. We got a couple other videos that will be coming out this week. So just a lot of information for you on TableRockFishingIntel.com, especially if you're a pro member. But if you're coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, where I am today, bite was kind of tough today. I think the main reason why is they shut the current completely off this morning at about 6 o'clock. We had absolutely zero current until about an hour ago. And they did start to bite a little bit an hour ago, but we had absolutely zero current. These fish have really started to relate to that current, especially the fish that are a little bit offshore. They tend to be offshore. They tend to be out a little bit deeper. Best bite for us over the weekend was definitely on a swim bait on the lower end. Throwing that Kitech 2.8, and the fish were actually pretty shallow, basically from the bushes out to about 12 or 15 feet. They really weren't that deep. Don't know how long they're going to stay that way. I know guys are already starting to catch a few drop shotting, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the bulk of the fish move out there. Most of what we're catching up shallow have been smallmouth and largemouth. Haven't seen a whole lot of Kentuckys up there shallow. I really think that bite's going to change. We're going to start to see those Kentuckys move out and start catching them deep on a drop shot rig, probably as early as by this weekend. Other bites that are working down here, we did catch a couple on top water this morning, throwing a spook or throwing a pop-ar. Either way, didn't really seem to matter. Those fish were up shallow, relating to the bushes, and then once the sun came up, they pushed out. Fished up Long Creek this weekend, caught them on a buzzbait, caught them on a whopper plopper, and caught them flipping, and never caught a fish deeper than 2 feet deep. So those fish up there, we got some bushes in the water, and you've got a little bit of watercolor up there. Those fish stayed shallow. We fished up until noon, and we caught fish from the time we started at 6 a.m. until noon. So keep that in mind if you want to go up and chase some shallow fish. There's a lot of stuff to throw at when you get up Long Creek. Go in the mid-lake area, same sort of bites are working. You can definitely catch them on a swim bait up there. A lot of fish coming on a Kitech 2.8, same sort of deal, just outside those bushes, out to about 15 feet. Windy, flat points have been key. If they're not eating a swim bait, if they're relating to the bottom, you don't have the wind, switch up. Throw a Ned head, throw a jewel squirrel head, throw a jewel spider jig, throw a peewee football jig. Hit those same spots. The fish really aren't moving that far. They'll either be right in the bushes or just outside of the bushes, out to about 15 foot deep, and you can catch them dragging as well. Top water bite was pretty good up there as well. Spook, whopper plopper, surge shad, all those have been working. Around docks has been key for the spotted bass. If you're looking for smallmouth and largemouth, really around those bushes, flat points around those bushes. It seems like those better fish, you can catch them early or late when the light's low on a top water up there as well. Up the James, went up the James on Sunday. Yeah, I guess it was Sunday. We went up to James. Trying to stay away from the boat traffic, to be honest with you. It wasn't real successful. But up the James, our best bite was flipping. We did catch a few on a buzzbait, did catch a few on a whopper plopper. All the fish we caught up there were less than 5 foot deep. Flatter banks were better. Anything that was flat had a little bit of rock mixed into it maybe, but really just flat gravel around bushes, isolated bushes, and any point you get up there on those main lake points and even some of the secondary points, every once in a while you'll come across one that the bushes come way out into the lake. Those were where we're catching the better fish, where they could use that longer point, that longer flat to transition up. So we were catching them flipping. I've been flipping either a D-bomb or a brush hog and throwing a buzz bait, throwing a whopper plopper, you know, just catching them up shallow. That was really fun over the weekend. Up the White River, same sort of bites that are working down here are working up there. Swim bait's probably our #1 bait up there. Kitech 2.8, a 1/4 ounce head from the bushes out to about 15 feet. So about 5 to 15 foot deep. Basically throwing it out. If you got wind, you don't even have to count it down. Throw it out, let it sink a little bit, just reel that sucker in, catching smallmouth and spots up there. Not as many spots as we are smallmouth, and not as many spots as largemouth up there. Again, I think that drop shot bite, that deep bite's probably going to turn on, if not this week, next week, and we'll start to see those fish moving out to that 20 to 25 foot range on those gravel points. If you don't have wind, fishing those flat banks, Ned head, squirrel head, peewee football jig, and there's spider jig. Anything you like to throw and drag on the bottom, you can catch them if you don't have wind. You can catch them if you got wind too, but you can cover a lot more water if you're throwing a swim bait right now than you are a dragon bait. And then further up in the Kings River, we did do a little bit of flipping on last week. Water's got good color up there. It's stained, it's not real dirty, and caught them flipping bushes and flipping laydowns up there with either a D-bomb or a brush hog. And again, these fish that we're catching flipping are less than 5 foot deep. Most of them are less than 2 feet deep. They're basically right up on the bank. Flatter stuff, a little bit of rock mixed in. If you got an isolated bush, isolated lay down, that really seems to hold more fish. Didn't really catch them good on a buzz bait up there, but we got up there a little bit late, and I think if we'd been up there, you know, first thing in the morning, right at daybreak, we probably could have caught a few on a buzz bait. Guys, we are almost done with May. First day of June tomorrow. Silly season starting out here on the lake. We've already got a ton of boat traffic, a lot of vacationers already. So the lower end's always going to be busier than the rest of the lake. Lower end, Kimberling City, once you get up on the rivers, it won't be so bad. But definitely got to contend with some boat traffic going forward. Bite's been good. Bite's getting better. I really like the fact that they're holding the lake at about 5 feet, 5.5 feet high, because that does open up the flip and bite for you. And it also does, I mean, you can go back into a creek and flip in the very back and you barely even know there's any other boats on the lake. So that's what I like to do when we've got water up this high. So keep that in mind if you're coming down this weekend, that there will be a flip and bite. You can certainly catch them flipping this weekend. But best way to know what's going on, best way to know how to catch them, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, become a pro member, get those daily reports, get those weekly reports, get all of that information, the videos, the maps, all that information will help you catch more fish just by becoming a pro member. But if you're coming down, want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743. Hit my website, focusfishing.com, and you can either book online or just shoot me an email. Either way, I will get back to you as soon as I can. Excuse me. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Take a minute, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.